Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm glad you're here at Freedom of Life because we've got an amazing conversation for you today. It really is this. It's how do I create the future that I desire? How do I have the vision, the dream, the goals, and have them actually come to pass in my life? I'm going to give you the secret for that today. So let's get started, shall we? And as we're getting started, do me a favor, become a part of what we're doing here by subscribing. That makes you part of the family. And to be part of the family, hit that notification bell so that you can be a part of every conversation we're having, every time we're having it. So here's an interesting thing. How do you create your future, right? How do you align with what God says and places on your heart? What's the vision, the dream, and the goal that you have? And how do you live it out? A lot of times we don't really understand how to do it completely, but we always have these phrases that we use, right? These Christian phrases. There's this Christian phrase, right? In trying to figure out God's vision and desire for your life, it says this. It's really kind of a faith statement. And what it says is that you won't see it until you believe it. And what that means is that until you believe God, until you have faith in the word that he tells you and the things that he promises for you, you'll never see it come to pass in your life. But the truth is, sometimes opposite of that. I know I may be stomping on some of your traditions, but here's the truth of the matter. Until you see it, many times you won't believe it. Does it mean that we have to tell God, hey, God, you show me this thing and then I'll walk forward, right? That's never been the case for anybody throughout all of history, that God will show you your future and then he'll let you walk into it. So you have the roadmap, so there's no problems, no challenges, no faith that's needed. So I'm not saying you don't need faith, but what I will tell you is this. The more I can clearly see who God says that I am and the life that he's called me for, the more I'll see that vision play out in my life and the more I'll believe it. It's called visualization. Until I can understand that there's a call on my life, that there's something unique about me, until you can understand that he's got an impact he wants to have in the world through you, that there's a specific call and a specific provision and promise for your life, you won't see it come to pass. It's called visualization, and really it's aligning with who God says we are. Romans 4:17, it gives a description of God that's really amazing. It says this, it says God who calls those things that are not as though they are. And what that means is it's a visualization, it's an imagining, it's a seeing the things that are not but believing that they are. In God's case, simply by him seeing them, they are created. And in our case, simply by seeing them, we'll put the motivation and energy towards them. There's this person who said at one time that anything that's ever been created is created twice. It's created first in the imagination and secondly in reality. That nothing has been created. Think of something in your life that wasn't first a vision, idea, a dream of somebody. Well, how much more our lives? So how do I create the future that I desire? Well, at first I have to see it. You have to practice seeing the promises of God in your life. You have to practice seeing the opportunities and the victories and the specific calling on your life. Once you see it, you'll believe it. Once you believe it, you'll live it out. Which is why, by the way, in the Word of God, that God always told them the call on their life, and then he commanded them to walk into it. It's the same for us. What's the call that God has on your life? What's the vision that you have on the inside? What's the thing you need to visualize and remind yourself of and meditate on and think about over and over again so that you can see it and then believe it and then live it? Once you get to that place, you'll see the steps coming in front of you that you know you need to take and the direction you need to go in so that you can live it out in your life. It becomes very clear once I can see the life that I'm called to live. Can you see it? Hi, I'm Mark. I'm glad you're here at Freedom for Life _. Do me a favor, in the comments down below, tell me one vision, one dream, one belief you have in your life that God's placed on the inside of you. Share this with somebody you know who needs to maybe have some inspiration that there's more for them than where they're at. And at the end of the day, if you do nothing else, dominate your day.